Well, hello, everybody, and good morning. Come on in. It's Coffee Country and Cody on WSM. Kelly Sutton, Charlie Mattos. We have Aaron Cooper and Annie Nye in the back. Jeff Roberts in Master Control just hit a button and made us live all around on all the streaming devices. You can watch us on Circle Now, Roku, Zumo, Peacock. I have been encouraging people all morning to make sure that you tune in and see us on the live stream because I got my hair done yesterday.
I was going to say, it looks very nice.
Thank you.
It's a good look.
Well, when you go through the process, you just want people to know that you put some effort.
No, it looks great.
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah. Is Paul good at that?
Good at
noticing?
Well, he knows because he sees the bill. So he knows.
Okay.
He points it out really quick. He's like, "Oh, you win again."
Right.
Well, it was funny yesterday. I had foils in my hair, and we were. It was. Oh, I love this phrase. You know, I'm just getting highlights, but long time ago, Ralph Emery. Love him so much. When I came to town, he was the reason I came to town. But he had this fun story about his wife, Joy, had just gotten her hair highlighted, and he was hugging Joy at some, fancy dinner, and Loretta Lynn was there, and Loretta walked up to him, and she was so mad. She said, "What do you think you're doing?" And then Joy turned around, and she said, "I thought you were somebody else, and I was about to just whip you."
Whoa.
And she said, "You got your hair blondined." That's what
Blondined.
Blondined. You got your hair blondined. So every time I get it done, I think of Loretta saying, "I got your hair blondined." But yeah, got a little highlight.
Well, that's a good friend who just go whoop somebody.
She was ready. She was going to take that lady on. She was like, "Wait a minute, Ralph Emery, who do you have your arm around?"
Wow.
It was his
and
wife.
And we're playing injured this morning, I understand.
Yeah, I burned myself on my curling iron. I just was really excited about having fresh hair and then curled it and got a little overzealous. So it's okay. I found a Band-Aid. We're good. We're solid. You know what?
Right.
We're still at full strength, so don't count us out. It's going to be a fun morning.
Well, okay.
Kirstie Kraus is coming in. I wanted to make sure I said her name right because I said it wrong earlier. So Kirstie Kraus is coming in. She's going to be here.
You are going to love Dabba Dolly.
Dabba Dolly.
Yeah.
Well, yesterday when I had the foils in my hair, I went on social media and I just said, "Hey, I check in with everybody in the morning, but this is really what it looks like throughout the day." And I said, it takes a lot of money to look this cheap, which is a famous Dolly line. And also true. Yeah. So I threw that out there. So you know how much I love Dolly Parton.
Oh, yeah.
So I cannot wait to hear this song, Dabba Dolly. She's going to play some of it for us coming up in just a little bit.
Is the foil just like Reynolds wrap, or is it actually like a special foil?
It is legit like a Reynolds wrap that I'm sure that they have
some fancy version of it.
Right,
but essentially.
No, it's foil wraps, and it helps the processing.
Sure.
I don't understand it all.
Okay.
I pay someone else to understand
It does look
that.
great, though.
Thank
you. look great. Yeah.
Thank you. I'll just keep fishing for compliments until somebody gives me one. Also coming up in entertainment headlines, we have a lot to talk about. We've already mentioned Sam Hunt heading out to Las Vegas. That's where Bill Cody is today on his way to Las Vegas to help open the brand new Ole Red out there with Blake Shelton. So Sam Hunt is going out there for a big old house party. We're going to give you all the details on that. Morgan Wallen, Eric Church. We're putting on our tinfoil hats and running down a conspiracy theory rabbit hole to find out if all of this was just a stunt and a ploy. And a new Chet Atkins vinyl that's coming that is very, very cool.
Yep, and you can get it at the Opry shop. We'll tell you all about it.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Welcome back in, everybody. She just came in and sat down. It's Kirstie Kraus. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, my gosh. Thank you guys for having me. I'm very excited to be here this morning.
We talk a lot about people that come from far away. You live here now.
I do.
But, sister, you have logged some miles. You've been in the UK?
Yeah. I took a quote-unquote day off yesterday. Of course, that meant like admin work. But today, I get to come out and be at WSM. That's like amazing. That's the first thing to get back in Nashville after being overseas for 5 weeks.
So talk about going to the UK. So how did this all get started?
Yeah.
Were you already planning to go play some shows, or how did it all work out?
I always wanted to be an artist like Sarah Darling and Cam and just be able to go over to the UK, England, multiple countries, and play music. And I found a community over there in really 2020. I started reaching out to them. I started emailing them, doing takeovers and interviews, and just So now I just put it out that I wanted to go over and play C2C. So I've done it twice. And I kind of coupled that with a 5-week tour of just getting out of my comfort zone and going all around the country.
You know, that's incredibly brave because you go over there, you don't really know what you're going to run into. And I've heard audiences over there are amazing.
Yeah.
That they really listen to all of the lyrics. What was the most surprising place for you?
The most surprising. Oh my gosh. Well, there's a place called Rodeos in this Wolverhampton. And everyone was like, why are you going to Wolverhampton?
Go
and I was like,
Wolves.
there is. They were like, no, there's a honky tonk there. And it was a honky tonk, like a true, they had the painted wall with Broadway on it.
Stop.
Yeah. And they had like the nachos, like the American nachos and just all the things. It was really cute. But a lot of those honky tonks feel like you're at Disney World.
Sure.
Kind of settings,
Yeah.
you know, like over the top. They definitely had license plates everywhere. That was cool.
That is really fun. I never think about there being a full-on honky-tonk in the UK.
So many are popping up. You guys, like country music over there is quite a topic. So it was a really good time to be over there right at this time.
Yeah, and you know, obviously we love the Ryman here. I mean, 130-something years old. But man, some of the theaters and buildings they're like 400 or 500 years old. I mean, they appreciate the history. So everything is like a walking history.
It really was.
Yeah.
Like the building's amazing to see.
Now, one can fly nonstop, Nashville to London and back and forth. Will you please tell us the path that you and, just as importantly, your guitar survived over the last 36 hours?
I just tuned her up, and she took a little bit longer, but I was dainty about it. But yeah, 3 flights. So I went from London Gatwick to Tampa to Charlotte to Nashville and got in at like midnight something. Yeah.
Was that the proposed plan, or was there a little bit of a delay and you were like, let's change it up, I need to get back?
Those were all those were all the flights. Like, and I got on them as planned. So that was like, thank you very much. But I think it worked out where I went in the morning, and then with the time difference, you know, the 6-hour difference, I got in right at nighttime, and I knew that that was how I needed to get home.
So you did some hosting for Countryline over there.
Yes, I did.
Talk to us about that. Was that always on the radar? Is that something you always wanted to do, or it just kind of happened?
Yeah, I started working with them in Nashville, and it was actually through a UK connection that I started working with Countryline, and they have been awesome. So I've been doing interviews for them, and then I just put it out there. I was like, you guys, I'm coming over for 5 weeks. I'm also going to be there for C2C. So if you want, like, utilize me. Let's do this. And they were like, absolutely. And so I did some interviews for them, and we're talking about doing some more stuff together here in Nashville.
I was fortunate enough for a couple of decades to travel with Vanderbilt. I did their women's basketball. So I've been to a lot of universities, a lot of college towns. You are from one of my favorite places in the United States. I love Madison, Wisconsin.
Yes.
I mean, it is a great college town.
It is. It is. I feel so lucky and fortunate to be able to explore that city in and out on my bike or car, and find myself in random theaters figuring out how they make cheese. Like,
it just looks like a great place to grow up, you know?
Yes, it was. It was really beautiful.
Good music scene, too?
It really is like a mixture of everything. You know, you can hear punk to like super rock to like the songwriter. Like you just hear a mixture of a whole bunch of music.
So what was the first place you would have played?
I'm trying to remember. It was like a cavern type, actually, called the Up North Bar.
Okay.
First place I played in Madison. There was a artist called Shelly Faith, shout out, and she let me get up and play with her, and I just remember being so thankful because that was like my first time playing in Madison.
Were you nervous?
No, I was really more excited. I think I like the adrenaline. I think there's something about being an artist, you kind of have to be addicted to like the pressure and the adrenaline, you know?
Sure.
So I was like, yeah, let's go. You ready for me? Okay, you're calling me up. All right, here we go. And like,
that's good.
It's more like fun, like roller coaster type of feelings, you know?
Yeah. So you came to town in 2017, and we know a lot of people, they come to town. Lainey Wilson famously came to town, lived in her camper. Remember this? She was in her camper for like 2 years. People come to town and you do what it takes. And one of the things I noticed on your bio, and it was such a cute little, when Lainey was here, she was a Miley Cyrus impersonator for kids' birthday parties. So she would go do Hannah Montana, and then she would come out as Miley, and then in between she would do a
Right.
couple Lainey stuff, you know, a couple Lainey songs.
Lainey, so I know all about this.
Right. So she was the Hannah Montana, and I saw that you have done some princess parties. Like you go
have.
and perform as a princess. Which
Yes.
princesses?
Oh, I've done Tink, like Tinkerbell.
Yes.
I've done Sleeping Beauty. That was a fun one. I definitely need to put out a highlight reel. Like now that we're talking about it, I have like the whole thing of putting the wig on. What else have I done? Like any of the blonde princesses.
Cinderella.
A lot of those. I've done Cinderella.
Okay.
Elsa, lots of Elsa. I definitely sang all the Elsa songs.
I mean, she has a great song. If you're
Yeah.
gonna pick a princess,
And you walk in and the little girls are like wearing the matching dress that you are wearing. And so it's just, it literally melts your heart. And a lot of those parties are like 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah.
You know, and you're reading to them, you're maybe face painting, you're telling them stories, you know, you're singing to them and then blowing out the candles like right there with them. And they just are in awe.
I have to tell you though, having a child, having a little girl, and watching her look at a princess, there's no greater feeling I would
yeah.
imagine than having those little girls' adoration.
Yeah, it's a lot like the moment when little girls come up to the merch table. 'Cause
Yes.
I will get down on my knee because it's such a special moment.
Yeah.
And I'll get down on my knee and I will tell them, like, look in their eyes and tell them you can do whatever you set your mind to. And then like the moms' hearts are melting, you know, like we're all kind of crying. And but like I think that's such a special moment.
Sure.
And I want them to take that with them, like for the, you know, because people have done that for me. And so it's just about passing it forward.
That's so sweet.
Try not to get the tears.
I know. I love it.
And you know, you can only meet someone for the first time once. So that
Yes.
first impression makes such a big deal, you know? So, yeah. Now, when you're doing the parties, though, you got to stay in character, right? Is that
The
hard?
whole
Because you
time.
can't, like,
Yeah.
hey, it's hot in here, by the way. You know, you can't do that, right? So,
Yeah, I remember I was Ariel and I was turning to my friend Alicia and I almost said Alicia and I was like, I mean, that's my other sister's name. You know, I had to like play through it, but I was like, stay in character.
Well, Ariel does have a lot of AA sisters,
Right.
so it totally played into it.
I tried.
So good. Speaking of a princess that we all love, Dolly. So that
Yes.
brings us to the song Dabba Dolly. Give us some backstory on how this came about.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I would go on stage and anytime I would cover a Dolly song, I would just at the end be like, well, there's a little Dabba Dolly for you. And I literally just started saying that as like a saying. And kind of like the Dollop a Daisy commercial.
Sure.
back then.
I remember that.
So I was bringing Kirstie Huff on tour with me up to Wisconsin in like the Madison area, all over Wisconsin for the weekend. And we were just doing a trial run together to see what tour would be like together. And I said that, and she turns to me knowing we had a write on Monday. And she was like, write that down. We need to write that song, Dabba Dolly. And she just said it to me right on stage, like us two microphones. So I literally like whipped out my phone as she was starting her song and I wrote it down. And then we wrote it like 2 days later at 9 a.m. before we drove back to Tennessee.
I love this. Well, I have the Dolly license plate, so
Me too.
and I am such a Dolly fan, so I cannot wait to hear the song. And Kirstie is with us this morning. Kirstie Kraus, thank you for coming in. Thanks for hanging.
Oh my gosh.
I know you're running on little to no sleep, just coming back
I would
from the UK.
not miss this. I just wouldn't miss it.
Well, the time difference just really kind of messes with you. It messes with you on the way over, but I feel like on the way back it's worse.
Yeah, I woke up at like 1 and 3 last night.
Okay,
and I was
fun.
like, maybe just go back to bed a little bit.
Maybe just knock me out. So you have a lot of stuff coming up. I was just looking. You're going to be at Gray's on Main. If you haven't been to Franklin, Tennessee, y'all, if you're coming into town, go visit Franklin. It is our little hallmark town that we love so much. It's beautiful. Gray's is one of my favorite places. So you're going to be down there on May the 10th. On the 17th, you're going to Lexington, Kentucky, and then you come back. And she goes to visit my best friend Carol Sullivan at Today in Nashville
Yes.
on May the 29th, my old stomping grounds.
I love it.
So you're going to have so much fun. And CMA Fest, you're going to be a part of that this year?
Yes. I'm not going to be on an official stage, but I'll be all over, and I'll be doing also some hosting things.
Oh!
And doing a full band performance. So I'll be announcing the schedule for CMA Fest soon. And I'll be doing a booth signing.
Oh,
with,
good. Okay.
Yeah.
Those are some of the best places to meet people. You get up close and personal with them.
Yes.
So as an artist, and an interviewer. What are questions that you have that you feel like would be proprietary to somebody who's actually doing it as an artist? Because I mean, I can ask questions all day long. I've never sat on a stage and sang.
Yeah.
At least not on purpose. One time at the Opry when my mic was still on, accidentally I was singing background
I'm going
vocals.
to talk to you about that.
Yeah,
after
it
the show.
was an accident.
Okay.
But you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it's so interesting to me, the kind of questions that you would have that I wouldn't even think to ask.
Right. It definitely is a different level of relating to the artist. Like, I was sitting down with an artist and he had a bunch of fire trucks in his music video coming out. So it's very specific to whatever they have going on or what they're into. Like, you can tell if they're really into guitar or if they're from Florida. I whipped out the other day camo duct tape and was asking them, what is this good for? So like sometimes it's just funny things, like getting them to relax a little bit and just show their human side.
What is the camo duct tape good for? What did we learn?
It worked for my suitcase on the way back. Like I had to duct tape part of the suitcase because it had been through it. Yeah.
Oh, Kirstie, that's so
Made me
nice.
emotional. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for coming in. It's just the jet lag talking. Don't get sad.
No, this is extremely a huge moment and very important to me. So I thank you all for having me. It really means a lot.
Oh, thank you for coming. And thank you for bringing your mom. Shout out to Mom.
It's so cool
Who's
she gets to
standing
be
behind
here in studio and just be a part of it and have all the feels.
How many miles did Mom put on the car taking you to lessons back
growing
and
up.
forth, whether it be vocal or guitar or dance, I'm guessing at some
Yes.
point. Yep.
Dance, plays. I worked at a professional dinner theater, so I was five times a week going to do shows for a run of 3 months and did a couple of those shows. There's no telling, honestly. In all seriousness, she might have a spreadsheet about it. No, I'm just kidding. She's definitely like the left brain organized one, and so helps me in any way of that regard. And it's been really helpful to allow me to be more of in like the creative space.
That's so cool.
You mentioned just coming back from the UK and doing a lot of shows around the country as well. Do you try and see stuff when you're out on the road? Because it's easy to travel the world and see nothing.
Right.
So...
Yeah, I mean, I definitely experienced the world through music. So I did a lot. I did like over 23 shows, but I made sure to go to Liverpool. I did the Beatles Museum. Like this is the first time really getting to explore. I went to the MJ musical. It's like brand new in London.
Yes.
Worth every penny, pound, quid, worth all the pounds and quid. It was so wonderful. It was. I want to see more shows when I go over there. I definitely want to do the whole like Harry Potter 2-part all day series.
Cursed Child.
Yes. And then do the Harry Potter world. So I have that on my list for next year's trip.
I'll go with you.
Okay.
We'll just go together because I want to be on that too. Thank you for coming in to see us.
Thank you for having me, you guys.
Oh,
Means a
Kirstie
lot.
Kraus. She was with us this morning. Again, Dab a Dolly. The release party is going to be happening on the 25th. Jeffrey Steele. I love that man. If you haven't heard Jeffrey Steele's full catalog, just go through. If you want to hear songs done by the person that wrote them and with the conviction and passion that he has, go listen to Jeffrey Steele doing, he wrote so many for Rascal Flatts, obviously My Town, Speed, Chrome, like so many. I'm a big Jeffrey Steele fan.
Member of the Nashville Songwriters Hall of Fame.
Yeah. He's incredible. Love him so
And an interesting guy. Just an engaging
really is.
interview, too. Well, you can tell by watching. He's an interesting guy. Yeah.
It was funny. Aaron goes, look at his cute little hat. He has a little hat that he wears.
I liked his hat.
That's what he always wears. Yeah. You have a collection of hats.
I do have hats, yes.
Have you always been wearing them at the Opry lately? Or
Only because my wife talked me into it.
Oh, good.
Yes.
I think you should.
Yeah, it's been about 3 or 4 years. The one time I didn't wear the hat, everybody's like, hey, where's the hat?
Where's the hat?
So
I have not worn a hat on stage at the
you would
Opry.
look good in hats.
I love a hat.
Yeah,
I've got a lot of them.
You know who looked great in a hat? And she only wore it for you'll appreciate this story. Mandy Barnett, for about a month, wore hats. And I'm like, I love this look. The hat is, she's beautiful anyway.
Right,
but the hat is a great look. And she goes, well, the girl who does my hair is out of town for about a month. So I'm wearing hats this month.
I feel that pain. fine.
But she looked great, though.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, she's got great hair.
She does.
Mandy Barnett has beautiful hair. Okay, speaking of hats, how about Lainey Wilson? We love Lainey and her hats. I actually have a hat from Lainey.
Really?
Yeah, and it has my initials branded on the side. It's very cool.
Oh, I love
I'll
that.
have to wear it sometime
Yeah.
at the Opry. Anyway, Lainey Wilson and Keith Urban. No hat. No hat needed for Keith.
So New Zealand meets Baskin, Louisiana?
Very true. The clash of the accents. They love singing together, and apparently they have a duet that might be dropping soon. So Keith Urban, talking in a recent interview, said, I had 2 songs I really wanted to get out. One of them was Straight Line, which I released. He didn't release it to country radio. He just wanted to put it out on his own. So that one came out. And then he released Messed Up As Me, which I really, really dig. And I think it's top 20 now. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good. But he said, I've got new music, and I've got one song in particular, a collaboration with Lainey Wilson that I cannot wait to get in your hands. He said they wrote it last summer, recorded it last summer, and he's been waiting, sitting on it this entire time. Now, he didn't specifically say that is going to be his next single. He did say he's going to have new music in May and that he's going to have a complete album come this fall. But we don't know. Hopefully, fingers crossed that this new Lainey collaboration will come to us sooner rather than later. Coming out, new music in May. Will it be the Lainey duet? I don't know. If we find out for sure, we'll let you know. Okay, Bill Cody, not here today. He's in Las Vegas.
Yes.
Probably still in the air. Yeah.
I think he lands in about, Vegas time. No, he's still in the air.
He's still in the air.
Yeah.
He's landing in Las Vegas because he will be there for the grand opening of the brand new Ole Red. This has actually been open for a while, but the big party, the big to-do with Blake Shelton, that's happening today and tomorrow.
Correct.
Right?
Yep.
So if you want to go, if you're in Vegas and you're listening to us or watching us on Circle Now app, wherever, you can go see your friend Blake Shelton. He's going to open it and be there and say hi to Bill Cody, by the way. He's going to be in Vegas. He's not the only one. Sam Hunt says, I'm going to Vegas for a 2-night house party at the Fountain Blue. I don't know where Fountain Blue is.
I don't either. There's a legendary hotel on Miami Beach called the Fountain Blue.
Yeah.
But I don't know where the Vegas Fountain Blue is.
This one is spelled the same, I think.
I'm going to Google this. Okay.
It's very fancy. Fountain Blue, Las Vegas for Blue Live Theater. 2 nights. It's happening October 25th and 26th. Pre-sale for City Card members on Sam's Fan Club begins yesterday, and today, but then general sales go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So just 2 nights. This is pretty cool. They're calling it the 2-night house party with Sam Hunt. Before he goes off to Vegas, though, he's going to kick off his Locked Up tour June 28th in Bend, Oregon. He wraps up in London, Ontario on September 28th. Tickets can be found at samhunt.com. He's got that EP Locked Up that he just did, and he's dressed up like Johnny Cash when Johnny performed at Folsom Prison. And his wife, Hannah Lee, is standing beside him, and she is kind of dressed up like June Carter. It's a black and white picture. Gorgeous if you haven't seen it. So check that out. That's part of Locked Up.
It is at the far end of the strip. So there's Stratosphere, then Resorts World, and it's right across from Circus Circus, if you know the Vegas strip.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Yep.
There you go. Speaking of Sam Hunt, he has I'd say, somewhat controversial rule. It's no secret that he and his wife have been through some bumpy patches in their relationship. At one point, she filed for divorce, and we thought it was all over with, but they reconciled, and now they have 2 little kids, and they're doing well. He said, however, even when they were fighting, I refused to sleep on the couch. He said, she's going to have to shoot me before I don't sleep in my own bed. Interesting.
Well,
now his bed may not have been in the same house where she was. She may have gone to a different house. Maybe he was in a different house. I'm not sure, but he said, I refuse to sleep on the couch. Oh, okay.
It's also a brave man to lay down that ultimatum.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Your Honor.
Somewhat controversial.
I know. Yes.
He said the words. I'm just saying.
All right.
Yeah. but now they're reconciled. Everything is good for them. Let's talk about Nate Smith, absolutely killing it. Congratulations to him. Big celebration earlier this week to commemorate his 1 billionth stream. 1 billion streams.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And he's also going out on tour this fall. It's Through the Smoke Tour, 14 different dates. He starts off in Illinois, and then he's going to wrap it up in Des Moines, Iowa on November 23rd. I feel like Iowa would be beautiful that time of year. Kidding. Up-and-comers John Morgan and Carly Scott Collins are going to be out on select shows with him. He has a phone number you can text to get a pre-sale code. So if you want to, write this down, or you can find it. I'm sure he's got it on all of his socials. It's 530-309-1317. 530-309-1317. Give him a text, and you'll get a pre-sale code for our friend Nate Smith.
This is Coffee, Country, and Cody.
Dylan Jakobsen is in the hot seat with us this morning. Just walked in. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for having me here today.
Good to have you. All right, show off the new hardware because you just got married. Do you wear a ring? Oh, good.
There it is. There it is.
There it is. There are a lot of my friends that don't wear rings, especially guys that play guitar, because they feel like, it's going to get... Who knows what they say, but a lot of them don't. So I'm glad you do, and you got it on. Are you
showing
used
it off
to it now?
I don't even. Yeah, it feels great. It was a little weird the first couple days, right? A little extra weight on the finger, but it's settling in nicely. You take it off, and you have the little indent going on.
Yes. Wait till the summer, because you guys just got married in January.
Yep.
You're gonna have that real nice, beautiful tan line.
There we go.
Yeah. And if you take it off, it won't matter. Chris is like, you can take it off. That's fine. You still have a tan line. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Tell us all about your story, because this is a fun one. In fact, you got written up in the New York Times.
Yeah, that was wild.
Okay, so I want the backstory, and then I want the story on how the New York Times found out about your story.
Okay. Well, I met Carissa, my now wife. We met back in 2010. And I'm originally from Seattle, so I was just getting through high school at the time. I was a senior in high school, out slinging my music like a line at a local concert, like just walking through the line, like had headphones and an iPod, and I was like, hey, check out my music. I had flyers, and she was one of the people in the line at that concert.
What was the concert? Do you remember?
It was a local band, Synesthetic.
Okay.
And this was 14 years ago now. So I slowly roped her in to, helping me out with my musical endeavors back when I was 17, 18. And, we just kind of developed from there. And, we've been on the road together for like the last decade, and just kind of traveling the world together and kind of experiencing life together. And then obviously when COVID hit, like everything slowed down, and we were able to get back from the road and just kind of settle down here in Nashville and kind of build like a life together, and adopt all the fur babies. And we have 3 dogs and 3 cats and a home, and we're married now. Life's just kind of a whirlwind.
That's amazing. Yeah. So hold on a second. She was like helping promote you.
Yes.
Did you always have other intentions, sir, or were you just looking for someone to help promote your music?
I think everything changed when things started to settle down from COVID, because we were so focused on music for like the longest time. And when COVID hit and everything kind of pulled back, we were able to focus on like our personal lives and not just like the musical avenue that we were just hitting hard. Like she's a artist manager and PR and everything, so that's like her field, and she loves what she does, and I love being an artist and writing songs. And so we were just so focused on that. When everything kind of dialed back, like it was just, we just fell in love.
Oh, that's such a sweet story.
But how cool, because so often, you hear the story of that when things start happening in a career and you start going on the road is when you leave your family.
Right.
And you guys have done it all together. And that's beautiful.
It's crazy, like being able to experience, like I was touring very heavily. The last part of the 2010s, like 2015 to 2020. And we got to experience pretty much everywhere in the U.S. together. We went to the UK and to Australia and to Asia. And so we've really kind of like traveled the world together, and it's been amazing.
I read you've been to almost all 50 states. Which ones are you missing?
In the Northeast. We haven't been to Maine.
Oh, you missing Rhode Island, my home state? You been to Rhode Island?
I have.
Okay.
I have.
All right.
Yeah, we've been to Rhode Island.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm in the clear.
Okay. All right. You're good. Okay.
He was about to kick you out.
And so I'm originally from Washington State. Well, we haven't been to Alaska. And that's another one that we haven't been to. So and I would love to. It's like being from Washington, like that whole vibe of like the Northwest and the trees and the mountains and the water, like that Alaska is like right up my alley. So
You'd love that.
I would love being there. Yeah.
Okay, so you guys get married in January. How did the New York Times find out about you?
And people as
And
well.
people,
Yeah.
right.
I mean, this is a pretty good double whammy. you know,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, it all just kind of played out. Like they found out about our story and like and reached out to us, and they were like, we would love to, you know, feature you guys. It started with the New York Times, right? And they found out about it, you know, and we're like, we want to tell your story. And then I think people probably found out through the New York Times, and it kind of just, you know, one thing leads to another, as they say.
So you're in the issue with Valerie Bertinelli on the cover.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So if you've got that one in your collection, go back and find.
That's
look at the
amazing.
photos. Yeah.
And your wife, Carissa, I mean, being in PR, this is like a dream come true. It's just like, look what I did for your career. All you had to do was marry me and you would get in the New York Times. That's amazing.
Yeah. She loves the spotlight. That's sarcastic.
I know,
She
I know.
specifically is like, I'm behind the scenes.
Sure.
Yeah.
See what happens when you step out from behind the scenes?
Yeah.
It all comes together. So you have a song right now, All of Time. Was this written specifically for the wedding?
It was. I surprised her with it like leading up to the weeks before our wedding. And I wanted to get the recording out to show her at the wedding, but I wasn't able to do that, but I was able to perform it for her, like in private. And then, you know, when I showed it to her for the first time, full band, like the recording, God, maybe a month or two ago.
Okay.
And so, yeah, it's been really like a special song for me, like hearing it all come together and kind of the romantic like string arrangement of it, and just kind of, I don't know. It's a special song for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Were you more nervous
Yeah.
asking her to marry you or playing her this song for the first time?
I think probably asking her to marry me.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a little slow on it. You know, I was
Yeah,
I mean, it's a
14
nerve-wracking
years.
thing. It's a nerve-wracking thing for a guy, you know, to get down on the one knee and everything. Like, I'm used to playing songs. That's what I do for a living. But like actually, like, you know, get down on one knee and doing the whole thing and trying to make it special. Like that was a big thing for me, as I'm sure it is for anyone. You want to have that, like, that's the moment that you remember. And so,
Did you write it out like you were writing lyrics to a song?
a little bit.
Okay.
It ended up being kind of, because I didn't want, she doesn't love the attention, and so I wanted to like kind of keep it a little bit private in the way of like not like doing like a big public thing where
So
everyone's
not
standing.
on a Jumbotron.
Yeah,
or
no.
anything.
No.
Okay,
That would be
good.
her worst nightmare.
That's a hard no. There's one way to get a hard no.
No, but it was a lazy like Saturday, Sunday. I can't remember what day of the weekend it was. But we were just laying around on the couch watching movies, and I was like, you know what? Maybe we should go out and you know, do a walk, you know, get a little movement going on today. We've been laying on the couch just kind of hanging out all day. And so we walked through the neighborhood. It was middle summer. It was like August 5th. And so it was scorching hot outside. The humidity was through the roof. And I was like, we just got to go a little bit further, because at the end of our little community that we live in, there's like an undeveloped area. Oh. And so I wanted to take her to that area specifically, to kind of relate it to our undeveloped future. And so I took her to like this telephone pole that was like right at the end, and I was like, we're just gonna make it to that telephone pole, then we can turn around. And when we got there, we touched it, and I was like, all right, we can turn around now. And then I got down on one knee and proposed to her. And I was telling her like this, like looking out over this area right now, because they're starting to build houses out there. And I was just saying like, this is our developing of our future together, and you know, I want to spend the rest of my life with you, and will you marry me?
That's so sweet. You need to reach out to that developer and tell him the story and tell him you were in the New York Times and see if he'll cut you a deal on a house.
I know. That would be good.
Woo, we love it. Hanging out, Coffee Country and Cody on WSM. Dylan Jakobsen is in studio with us this morning, just talking about all the good things that have been happening in your life. It's been a long time coming. When did you start playing? Like, how old were you when you thought, yeah, I really think I should play music?
I was lucky enough to pick it up at super young. I was 8 when I started playing guitar.
Okay.
And started as just a hobby. Like me and my dad grabbed guitars and we're going to learn together. And, I just kind of took off with it and fell in love with the instrument and really knew early on that it was all I ever wanted to do, which I feel very grateful that I was able to figure that out. Because like all through school, I'd come home and I would be writing songs and recording songs like on my little 8-track and just kind of like fiddling my way through different instruments and like adding them to my own songs. And then that led to just wanting to graduate high school and tour the world and, be a rock star.
But it sounds like that your parents were supportive of that.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, if you're out in front of some other band's gig trying to get people to listen to your music when you're 17, then that means mom and dad must have been like, yeah, go do it.
Yeah, no, they were super supportive, super awesome about it. And, they were always at the shows every time I played, in Seattle, and they still to this day, they try to make it out to, all my performances. They're probably listening right now.
I was going to say 7:30 in the morning on the West Coast, and they could be watching on Circle.
Give them a shout out.
What are their names?
Todd and Pam.
Todd and Pam, welcome.
Shout out to them.
Hello from Nashville.
Todd and
there you
Pam.
go.
Hello, Todd and Pam. Welcome into WSM.
If they've slept in, tell them they can watch for up to 24
that's right.
hours on the Circle Now app.
Perfect.
So on their time.
You can send them the link, and that way
Yeah.
they'll be
Yeah.
super proud.
Yeah.
You have a beautiful Taylor guitar.
Oh, thank you very much.
Is that one that you picked up along the road somewhere? Did they make it for you?
Yes. So I have a long story going back with Taylor guitars. Like, my middle name's Taylor. So instantly, like
nice.
as a child, I was like
25% off the top right there.
Yep. Instantly, I was like, I love Taylor guitars. I love the sound of them. This is my second Taylor acoustic that I got.
Beautiful.
I have another one that I have a long story going back with. That's kind of fun. I'll save it for another time because it's long. But it's a great guitar. It's a K26 CE, and it's definitely before I had fur babies, I'd call this my child.
How old? What year? The guitar.
Oh, the guitar. I was like, the fur babies?
No, not you. You can see them on your Instagram page.
Right. Yeah. The guitar I got in 2015.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it was new when you got it.
Yes.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, very cool. Has anyone ever told you sound like Jeffrey Steele?
No, I've never got that one before.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I can
Thank
hear it in
you.
your voice. Thank you so much
Thank
for coming
you.
in.
I appreciate
Congratulations on the wedding. Congratulations. Carissa's in the back over here. She's crushing it, getting you in the New York Times and People Magazine and everything else.
Love her.
Thanks for coming in.
Now available. New episodes of My Opry debut, including Shaun Cassidy.
My last concert was at the Astrodome in 1980 for 55,000 people, and I never did another show. I've been writing television shows happily. I chose to step back into it thinking, I don't know if anyone's going to care.
He's had 3 multi-platinum albums and numerous top 10 hits, but tonight he is making his Grand Ole Opry debut. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Shaun Cassidy. Oh, that was such a fun night. I got to tell you, everybody there, especially our Opry sister, Gina Keltner, who was side stage just beaming.
Came with her vintage Shaun Cassidy t-shirt, did she not?
She had all of it, and it was so fun to watch him walk out on that stage and just own it. His brother, Patrick Cassidy, I'm friends with Patrick. He's at Studio 10, overseeing Studio 10 in Franklin. He was side stage too. It was just fun.
Do you have a bucket list of who you'd love to see one night there when you're at the podium? Like somebody who could just out of the box a little bit. Anybody?
Gavin DeGraw.
Oh, he'd be great. He lives here, doesn't he?
He does live here, and
Yeah.
he's never performed.
Yeah.
And Toby Mac.
Oh, yeah.
Gavin DeGraw and Toby Mac are two.
Well, they'd
that
both
I
be great
know.
live.
And it's funny because I assumed Toby had played the Opry before.
No, because so many of that genre do, and then especially now.
Stephen Curtis Chapman,
Yeah.
Matthew West,
Yep.
so many that are CCM artists, and I love Toby, and I'm such a fan. And when I asked him at the K-Love Awards, I was like, "When's the last time you did the Opry?" And he goes, "Well, I've never done it." And I was like, What?
Yeah.
What?
Well, those are good choices.
Never done that.
Yeah.
What
I
about
like
you?
that. I was talking to Gina Keltner about this the other day. Peter Frampton.
Peter hasn't
Which
done
I just
it.
think would be the coolest thing.
Isn't he here?
Yeah. And that may happen sometime. So fingers crossed.
Oh, now
But,
that would be very, very cool.
yeah, they're loving this conversation over at the Opry House. By the
Are
way.
they?
It's like, shut up, you two.
Quit putting all
Stop
of these
booking the
things
show
out
for us.
there. I mean, I have a long, long list of people that I know would love to do it that are
Right.
there, but those two just being in Nashville for as long as they have and
Right.
made such a huge mark, it's kind of like Shaun Cassidy. You want to see them
Yeah,
step on
exactly.
that stage.
I worked with Jelly Roll for the first time on a full Opry show last night, which
Don't
was
you
great.
love
Oh
him?
man, it's a combination of like a little bit of Garth energy with Hulk Hogan. It's an interesting mixture of feeling, you know. But he's great. He was
We're
great.
sitting down in just a few hours, and I'm going to do a full podcast with him for Country Heat Weekly. So
You know, we shared a moment.
you did. I
He
heard.
Yeah, he kissed me. Yeah, it's okay.
Did you wash that side of your face, or was it was your ear?
It's my
He
it was a
whispered in your ear.
sweet moment. Yeah. He kissed a lot of people, though. I think he kissed his guitar player 3 times during the set. You know, some people are huggers. Some people.
And he is a hugger.
My
He's very
family
much
were kissers. I kissed everyone in my family, male or female, aunts, uncles.
Yeah.
When I would see them,
Yeah.
so it seemed very natural to me.
Yeah.
So.
And there are some people that is their go-to.
Right.
I am definitely a hugger. I'm going to hug you whether I met you or don't know you, or
Right.
if you're close to me, I'm going to hug you.
Yes.
But I will tell you that Jelly is a big hugger, and he actually, there was a whole article that was written about his aggressive. He said, I am like a big aggressive bear coming at you. Don't try to stop me. I am going to hug you.
I'm going to win this battle, right? Yeah.
And he's lost 70 pounds.
Yeah.
He's getting ready to do a 5K in May. So I'm going to get all the details on that. But he's been working out. He's been eating healthy. He's just, he's taking good care of himself. So happy to hear that. Well, let's talk about what's happening with Nate Smith going out on tour. This guy is on fire, literally. He has a new tour that's going to be starting this fall called Through the Smoke. There it is. 14 different dates. It starts off in Illinois, ends up in Iowa. You can get all the information by going to his website, but he also has a fun little text this number and you're going to get a pre-sale code. So if you want to do that, the number is on his website as well. Love Nate, and congratulations to him. Had a big celebration earlier this week to just commemorate 1 billion streams. That's a lot.
Yep. He's coming off back-to-back number ones.
Yes,
so
he is.
let's keep our fingers crossed for
And
Bulletproof.
crushing it.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely crushing it. Okay, let's talk conspiracy theories, because a friend of mine actually proposed this. She just sent a text saying, I'm just saying it's weird timing. And I wrote it off, but then I saw someone else was talking about it. So let's get into it. Morgan Wallen and Eric Church, they have a song together. It is now number 1. It's called Man Made a Bar. That song was sitting at number 2 5 days before he throws a chair off the roof of Eric's new bar. Allegedly. He allegedly threw a bar stool off of the 6th floor of Eric Church's new bar called Chiefs. So he throws the chair. 5 days later, he ends up with a number 1 song called Man Made a Bar. Was this a publicity stunt? And here's the other thing that someone has pointed out. Again, I'm just putting it out there for y'all to discuss. Discuss amongst yourselves. I'm not making a conclusion.
You're the pot stirrer.
I know. Stirring. The area where the chair landed had just been cleared by police. Police were down there and they were clearing people out, and there were 2 police officers that were standing there and the chair landed. Now, I don't think so. I mean, if I'm just being real, I don't think anyone would put that kind of a... First of all, I don't know that Morgan has that good aim. If they said hit the chair here, he's probably not going to. Second of all, I don't think that those were the circumstances surrounding it. However, it is suspicious timing that they have a song called Man Made a Bar and it went to number 1. What do you think, Charlie Mattos?
I suspect it may have gone to number 1 anyway.
You think that
he's
was-
had a pretty good record
He
with
has.
that kind of thing.
That's true.
So
Yeah. I don't know. Just putting it out there. Stirring the pot. That's what I like to do. Y'all make your own conclusions. Hey, let's promote this vinyl album that you've got. That's very, very cool. I want to talk about it one more time. I'm sorry you already put it away. This is really cool. It is a tribute to Chet Atkins. It is We Still Can't Say Goodbye, put together and will be available on shop.opry.com.
Yep.
Incredible lineup of people.
Or in stock at the Opry shop, I
It
believe,
is?
too.
Okay.
But it's a 2 vinyl set. It's got a beautiful gatefold with incredible liner notes. And so many of our Opry stars are featured on it. Obviously, if you expect like Tommy Emmanuel and Steve Warner,
Love it.
Brad Paisley. I mean, all the great guitar pickers. Ricky Skaggs, Charlie McCoy. It's an incredible lineup. Vince, of course, this is an autographed Vince Gill copy.
Oh, I didn't see the autograph down there. Nice.
Yeah. Vince got a nice signature.
He does.
Yeah. So, but wait till you see the vinyl itself. It is a beautiful, sort of a almost creamsicle orange.
Ooh, that is pretty.
Yeah, isn't that nice? So,
That is very, very pretty.
Yeah,
so if you have a Chet fan in your family and you want to get one of these for them, you can do it. It's coming out on this Friday, I believe, the
Correct.
19th.
Yep.
So you can, of course, order it on shop.opry.com. You can stop by the Opry store and buy it. And then there's also a documentary that's going out that will be a part of this as well. So they put that together, and I believe that's going to be, is it on CMT?
CMT? Yes,
CMT.
absolutely. Yeah, so it's a great. I got to meet Chet one time.
I never did.
Yeah, at one of my former radio homes. He was in to do an interview and could not have been kinder and signed the autograph, Chet Atkins, CGP, the certified guitar player, which is just such an honor to have that bestowed. I think there's only 4 or 5. So, it's pretty good. So, I'm a vinyl junkie, so I'm kind of like, I'm thinking, oh, this is
Hold
really
on to
pretty.
that one.
Look at the other side. The label's purple. Isn't that pretty?
Thank you to all of our friends that stopped by to see us today, including Kirstie Kraus. She was here. We also had Dylan Jakobsen. We learned his middle name is Taylor, just like the guitar. Congratulations to he and his wife, Carissa, who just got married. And hey, coming in tomorrow, Darren and Brooke Aldridge are going to be here, and Chase Bryant. And I have not talked to him in a long time. I'm so excited to see him.
Brand new music.
Yes.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
And last chance for you to get those Steve Earle tickets. He's going to be playing at the Ryman on August the 28th. Last day to win them before you can buy them. They go on sale Friday. So for all of our friends out there hoping to win this morning, we had a lot of calls. Just make sure you're listening tomorrow morning. Bill Cody, have fun in Las Vegas opening Old Red. I'll be back here tomorrow along with all the crew. We'll see you then.